Hey everyone, it's me, Gracie Carroll, and first of all, Happy New Year! I can't believe it's 2017 already, but here we are. This is my first video for the new year, which is very exciting. You know, I have to admit that I really didn't want to start the new year off talking about detoxing and diets, but the reality is that I'm just like everyone else. By the time the end of the year came around, I was so ready for a reset and my body was just crying out for help. The difference this year for me is that I really took time to think about what has worked for me in the past and what I did like. I have tried paleo before, being vegetarian, vegan. You know, I've found a lot of those times that they were effective in different ways, but I was miserable throughout the entire time. I knew that there were aspects of what I've done in the past that I have really liked. For whatever reason, I found that in the past year, in 2016, I just kind of gave up on everything, especially around summer, and just started being really easy on myself, and then it showed, not only in terms of my body but how I felt, how I was performing. And you know, I know that's not the best me, and it's very important to me to be on and healthy and, you know, feeling really good about myself. So I took time to think about what works for me, what I could actually keep up with and turn into a habit, something that I could do every single day for the rest of my life. I mean, this is my last year of my 20s. I'm turning 30 in November, and I want to start my 30s right. I want to be the best version of me as an adult. Here's what I came up with. It's been a week on this routine, and I feel so amazing. My skin is looking great. I have hardly any makeup on. My sleep has been amazing. I haven't needed as much caffeine. I haven't been super hungry or hangry. I wanted to share what these things are because I think they're easy to implement and easy to follow. They also make it easy to adopt when you are going out, and I hope that perhaps these are things that could help you too. So here are 7 things that are simple changes that I'm making in 2017 to form healthy habits. First up is lemon water. I have done this in the past when I was on a detox. Everyone always raves about lemon water. The problem for me was that they always said that you needed to have hot lemon water, and I was just so impatient and tired in the mornings that I couldn't wait around to heat up, you know, warm up the kettle, have it boil, and then create this sort of lemon tea. That wasn't working for me, and I recognized that. So if you are like me and just impatient and lazy, then maybe you will join me in just accepting that you can have room temperature or maybe a tiny bit cold lemon water, because it's better than nothing. So step number 2 is all about taking the right vitamins in the morning. When I was training with my personal trainer, Jessica Morris, a few years ago, she helped tell me about, you know, which vitamins and pills I should be taking every single day, because I really felt that I was so overwhelmed anytime I went into a health food store and I was spending so much money on things that I didn't know what they actually did. So I said, I need to know what you take, what I should be taking, and just tell me exactly what they are, what brands. And I went out and bought them, and I've been on these 3 key things ever since then. So part of my step 2 is just taking the right vitamins and pills in the morning, which I just take while I'm drinking my large glass of lemon water. The first thing that I take is a probiotic. There are different brands that I take. This one is new to me that I picked up. There we go, probiotic, yay. So this just helps with digestion every single day. I think it's really, really great for your stomach, especially if you have any sensitivities. So I take one of those every single morning. In my blog post, you can see the exact brand that I like to buy. They are expensive, but trust me, they're worth it. They're really good for you. The second thing I take is a multivitamin for women. This is the one I love taking. It's my new chapter. It's for women. It's a multivitamin, so you only need the one, and it's fantastic. It's great for your skin, your hair, your body, everything. So the third thing that I take is a fish oil capsule. Ooh, where's the label? There we go. I really, really like NutraC. It's very high quality. I'm really not big on taking fish oil by the tablespoon. I think it's a little stinky and really doesn't taste good. And you can't really taste any fishiness when it's in a pill form. So if that's also of interest to you, then I would recommend trying it. You know, omega-3s are fantastic for your skin and for your hair. So, you know, if you want great skin, great hair, I don't know who doesn't, but definitely start taking one of these every single day. The third change that I've made this year is that I've decided to stop drinking coffee, and that is huge for me because I am a coffee lover. And this was the problem for me, was that, ending last year, I was drinking almost 5 cups of coffee a day, like Americano strong coffee. And that was too much. I knew it was affecting my sleep. I generally don't sleep that well, and it's obviously caffeine has something to do with it. So I have stopped drinking coffee in the morning, and instead I have replaced it with 1 cup of green tea. I am a big fan of teas. I have a giant cupboard full of tea. It's actually ridiculous. So I think this change is good so that I can, get through some of those teas in my cupboard. I really like a lot of the teas at David's Tea. This is the North African mint that has some ginger in it as well that I find is really good. I'll often just pop in a little bit of matcha. This is a really good one from Tea Pigs that I'm using right now. And I have to say, I haven't missed coffee at all. I really thought that this would be one of the hardest changes for me to make, but it hasn't at all. It makes me feel so much more hydrated, really well balanced. I don't deal with this sort of anxious, heart beating out of my chest that I often felt, especially in the afternoons if I had a coffee. Tip number 4 is making my green smoothie every single day. This was another thing that made me realize that I can commit to healthy habits, and it is possible, because I have been making my healthy green smoothie for a solid 4 years, almost religiously, and I have turned so many people onto it. It has changed my life. Even my boyfriend loves it, and every morning I just make it for the two of us. And it's something I don't even think about. It's at this point something that my body craves, and I knew that if I could drink this green liquid salad every single day and love it, and even demand it when I'm traveling, the other things that I'm doing will become no-brainers as well, that I want to do every single day. It just takes time. So it's building that habit, which isn't 23 days or 21 days. I recently Googled it, and it's more like 66 days. So I'm giving myself till March. The first quarter of the year is about resetting. Tip number 5 is vegetarian lunches. This is something that I was doing a few years ago when I still worked in an office from 9 to 5. I've always been very big on packing my own lunches because I think buying your lunch every single day is a huge waste and not very healthy. But the change was that I wanted all of my lunches to be vegetarian, and I was doing that for quite a while, and I loved it. What sparked that was I had read in, I think it was one of the books by Kimberly Snyder, who is a nutritionist from LA. She doesn't eat meat, but she had said, if you are going to eat meat, then reserve it to 1 meal a day, and preferably at nighttime, because it often makes you feel heavier and more tired. So it gives you have more time to relax and let your body digest meat if you are eating it at night for dinner. I find for me, especially after a workout, sometimes just a big salad or just vegetables isn't enough. I need some protein, but I'm going to get that through things like lentils or chickpeas, and even having healthy grains, super grains like quinoa. Obviously, packed from homemade is great, but there are always great options that you can get at a restaurant or a takeout joint. You just have to be aware of where you're choosing to go eat and of the menu that's available to you. Number 6 is having healthy snacks on hand all the time. Something that I love to make and those are healthy energy no-bake balls. So you've probably seen these on Instagram or Facebook, especially if you follow any health freaks like I do. Basically, they look kind of weird, although I say they look like little Timbits. There's healthy Timbits. They're gluten-free, paleo-friendly. There's only superfood ingredients here. They're very easy to make. I'm going to be sharing my favorite recipes soon. Even Josh loves them. For me, I make sure I pack them so if I'm hungry after the gym, if it's going to be a little while until I get home to eat or until I get to a restaurant and I want to make sure I don't over-order or overeat, I have them in my bag so I can snack on them. I would recommend trying them. They're very easy. If you have a blender or a food processor, you can make them very easily, and look out for the recipes that I will share. Otherwise, just Google no-bake energy balls and you'll find a lot of options online. Number 7 is eating protein meals with lots of veggies. So this is where my paleo roots are coming back, and I've decided to eat, a really lovely piece of meat or piece of fish with lots of vegetables and save it for nighttime. One of the reasons, again, like I said, is the recommendation from Kimberly Snyder to have your protein at night. And the other was because when I was thinking about it and how my life works and what would make sense, I thought, you know, Josh, cooking for us is a big part of our life. We love to eat and we love to stay at home together. I am out a lot, but if I do get to be at home, then we like to make a nice meal and just hang out together. So I wanted to be able to include him without feeling like we have to make 2 separate meals or that he's unhappy with what he's eating. And so this is why I chose to have my meat and fish or fish at night. Paleo focused meals, they're really delicious. I know when I first went on paleo, I was overthinking everything and it just drove me absolutely crazy. And then I realized that it's very simple. Just make some chicken and then some vegetables, or some salmon and some vegetables. Make them delicious, season them really well, and you're going to have a great paleo meal. You're not going to feel hungry. You're going to be very satisfied and you're going to feel fantastic. So that's what we do together now. It's been very good so far, and it's a good change. Like for me, this is what's working. This is what I hope to continue all year round. I know it will get difficult. It's just all about balance and making sure you feel good and that your body's in a good place and there's something that you can manage. Of course, there's going to be cheat days, and those are, you know, important too, so that you stay sane. I think any trainer or nutritionist will tell you that. You got to treat yourself every once in a while. It's just not going overboard in any which way, and finding ways that you can implement a healthy habits and a routine every single day that benefits your body and your mind. So this is what I'm doing. I hope it will work. I felt like putting this out into the universe would really help me stick to it. So call me out anytime or check in with me. I will check in with you guys. And if you have any other tips to share, I would love to hear them. Here's to a happy and healthy 2017.